meeting you.
News time is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Thursday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast, streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The DeWitt County Board has established an ad hoc committee to evaluate compliance and technology. Newly minted DeWitt County Board Chair Joe Whitty indicates the committee will run through 2025, but can be extended if they need more time. Its goal will be to evaluate the county's ordinances and technology.
It's an ad hoc committee that will have, for a period of 1 year. We added a termination date to the motion to get that established. It'll run through 2025, and it's to handle compliance and IT, kind of do more of an exhaustive review of our ordinances. Are we compliant with state statute? Are there things that we need to update? And then from the technology standpoint, are there areas where we can maybe improve efficiencies, look at our technology stack, and it won't be a committee that has the authority to make any decisions. We will be an advisory committee to the full board. So we'll anything that we find, any recommendations, will go to the full board for approval. We established Pat Ryan as chair, Megan Myers as vice chair. I'll be on that committee. And then we added Dee Dee Rentmeister, our county administrator, as well, because she's got a lot of knowledge from a historical standpoint, why things have maybe changed, why our ordinances and how we do things might be slightly out of sync. And so we'll rely heavily on her just for that knowledge, and then we'll take anything that we find to the full county board just for any adjustments that need to be made.
The ad hoc committee comes in response to the county's disbanding the Marina Committee because the county sold the Clinton Lake Marina earlier this year. Whitty explains they won't make this committee permanent just to have another committee to replace the Marina Committee.
So the Marina Committee, obviously we needed that for that purpose, right? We had to operate the marina, and we don't have that need anymore, so that made sense to disband that, and there's no intention to replace it with something just because we no longer have 5 committees. The intention of this one is more of a temporary committee with a specific goal, right? It's to look at the compliance, to maybe come up with some onboarding manuals and things like that for our elected officials, for appointed officials. And just once that goal is met, there's no need for the committee to continue. Now, from a technology standpoint, maybe there are some things that would need to continue beyond a year. If there is a need for something like that, or we have a recommendation, we would take that to the full board, and we'd have to establish a new committee. But no, the intention of this is really just temporary. We've got some goals that we've set out. If we can get through those in a year, great. If not, we can extend the committee for another year or so. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, if there's something that we feel as a full board that needs consistent coverage for beyond a term of a year or two, then we could always establish that. But that's not the intention, from the onset.
With the Whitty ran his first meeting as the chair of the DeWitt County Board last week. We'll have more on him from that meeting in the days ahead on Regional Radio. For most of the year, the city of Clinton has been working towards updating its website, and that update is finally complete as the new look is now live. City Administrator for the city of Clinton, Taylor Baxter, indicates it went live early last week and is going to provide a much smoother and streamlined experience for users.
We got it done actually yesterday, and that's the first thing that I thought about. I'm like, I get to go into tomorrow to the radio and tell Seth that we got our website done. Very excited for that. Hopefully, when you go on there, you're going to be able to find things a little bit easier. We tried to organize it in a way that's simplified and condensing information, and really just aesthetically, it's a lot more appealing to the eye when you first come to our website. So we're really excited. It's the same company that the schools use.
For users that have visited the Clinton Schools website, it's going to have a similar look. Baxter explains it is indeed the same company that developed the school's webpage, and he indicates the district provided a great reference for that company.
That was one of the big things that I liked, is we were able to get references from the school district, and they've had great reviews as far as customer service, and and on the back end, it's very easy to navigate and really plug things in, delete things here. So that's two of the big things. Okay, on the outside perspective, is it going to look good? Yes. Is there an app? Yes. And then on the back end, how easy is it going to be for us to make changes and things? So worked out all the way around. Very excited for it, because I think we've talked about this is when somebody's looking at a place to either start a business or live or visit, they're going to go to the city's website. And we want to put our best foot forward, and I think that website certainly does this.
Baxter recognizes not everything you find on the website will be completely accurate. He encourages if you encounter an issue with anything to reach out to City Hall and they'll make the correction as soon as possible. There's a local school district making improvements to their facilities soon. Adam Ibbotson, superintendent of Merle Forsyth Schools, explains they're already planning for this summer and next school year.
Think about projects and we think about the upcoming semester. We're already starting to think about turning to the next school year and thinking about making plans for that. Recently met with our facilities and finance committee, and we like to keep a project list of thinking about what we're doing to maintain the great facilities that we have at Morrow Forsyth. And we're really fortunate to have 3 buildings that are relatively new, the middle school being the newest, but we're really fortunate to have great facilities. Our taxpayers have put a lot of value and priority in education in our communities. And it's our job as a district now to steward those buildings to make sure that they are maintained. We met at the Facilities and Finance Committee group, and one of the things that we're moving forward, it's hard to believe, but the high school will be 20 years old here this summer, and we're about ready for a 10-year health, life, safety survey. And every 10 years, your building's got to go through a 10-year survey to where people come in and look at your facility and look for things that you need to do to maintain the health, life, and safety of your building. And one of the things that will become a priority for us is looking at the care of the roofs at the high school.
Being prepared is always an important step when taking on projects like this. Ibbotson emphasizes preventing problems rather than dealing with them after they happen.
So looking at the roofs and thinking about a plan for us to maintain those, that's something you don't want to get behind, something that you want to make sure that you're upkeeping, because once you have a problem and you have leaks and you have issues, those seem to compound other issues. So our group is looking at a roofing plan. We're looking at what to do in terms of how to maintain those. It's really interesting. There's different styles of roofs, even on the high school. There's like a rubber neoprene roof that you see that's black over the top of the barrel shape of the gym. There's even some older gravel roofs in places there that you see in the different parts. So getting a plan for that is important for us for the roofs, and thinking about just the upkeep of that building to make sure that it's top-notch facility.
Ibbotson recently applied for and was awarded a grant for maintenance on all 3 of the district's buildings. They'll also take some time to focus on the concession stand of their football field.
Thinking about not only the roof part of it, but maintaining some of the other facilities. So I applied recently for the school maintenance grant that's provided through the State Board of Education, and it's a matching funds grant to where the state would provide half of the money, and then the district has the other, and you're reimbursed as you do that work. So we're going to look at the concession stand area and ticketing area that's adjacent to the football field and the track area. So there's pieces there that we have some moisture issues, we have some plumbing issues, and some pieces in general that just need to be upkeep and some remodeling that needs to happen. So we're launching into that. We received notification. We got the grant approved, and we're going to start working on getting those final plans together for getting that concession area and ticketing area kind of refurbished. It hasn't really been touched since it was put in there in the early 2000s. So that's another upkeep project that we're looking for with the school maintenance grant.
While still a ways off, the district will also hope to upgrade the press box on their football field in the future. Get more information on Morrow Forsyth Schools at mfschools.net and find them on social media. News time is 17 minutes after the hour on this Thursday. Coverage of news streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Coming up in sports on this Thursday, it's holiday Hoopla time in Monticello. Clinton boys and girls head to the Hoopla in Monticello this week. Their schedule and a preview of the tournament comes up next in sports.
Return to an active lifestyle and higher quality of living with Gibson Area Hospital Orthopedics. Your orthopedic health is important, and Dr. Brett Keller specializes in joint replacement, robotic total joint replacements, general orthopedic care, and fracture care. Warner Hospital provides award-winning orthopedic health to DeWitt County with Gibson Area Hospital Orthopedics. Now scheduling patients at the Warner Specialty Clinic in Clinton. Call 217-784-4340.
The only competition that really matters is you versus you. And with the performance of Veltima fungicide from BASF, you can take your best results even further. Veltima fungicide is on your side to out-yield the competition by an average of 7 bushels per acre, but you've never been average. Beat your own record, get every bushel you deserve, and make this your best season yet with Veltima fungicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Happy holidays and a happy new year from all of us at Baum Chevrolet Buick. Hi, this is Scott Baum. I just want to take a minute to thank you all for a wonderful year. All of us here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City appreciate the trust that you and the community place in us to not only help you find the right new car or truck, but also service them as well. We look forward to continuing our promise throughout the holiday season and into 2025. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Covenant Animal Clinic in Clinton now has a new online store for your pet's medicine and supplies. Hi, this is Dr. Seuster inviting you to check out our new online store at CovenantAnimalClinicIL.com or just click on our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Serve Pro of Piatt DeWitt Counties for fire and water restoration, reconstruction, and now duct cleaning to keep your air healthy. Find out how they can help you by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
EquityProtect.com.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jeremy House. In the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens got their magic number to 1 for winning the AFC North.
Lamar Jackson threw 2 touchdowns and ran for another. Jackson finished with 168 yards for the Ravens, and his 87 rushing yards allowed him to pass Michael Vick for the most rushing yards by a quarterback in NFL history. Derrick Henry finished with 27 carries for 147 yards and a touchdown for Baltimore, while Mark Andrews added 2 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. John Mechie's 5 catches for 48 yards led the Texans.
That's correspondent Adam Spillane reporting. Elsewhere, Patrick Mahomes passed for 320 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Kansas City Chiefs locked up the top seed in the AFC with a 29-10 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The 2-time defending Super Bowl champions raced to an early 13-point lead and were never really threatened. This is SRN Sports. In the NBA, Austin Reeves had a big night as the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Golden State Warriors 115-113.
Reeves finished with a triple-double, 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists for the Lakers' 4th win in 5 games. LeBron James, 5 days from his 40th birthday, had a team-high 31 points and added 10 assists. The Warriors have lost 11 of their last 14 games and have just 3 wins in December. Stephen Curry, in a losing effort, scored a season-high 38 points.
That's correspondent Ryan Leong reporting. Other winners included New York, Minnesota, Philadelphia, and Phoenix. College basketball, Bryce Williams scored 11 of his 25 points in the final 6 minutes. Nebraska closed on a 6-0 run to beat Oregon State 78-66 in the championship game of the Diamond Head Classic. Nebraska claiming its first tournament title since winning the San Juan Shootout in 2000. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. The Clinton boys and girls basketball teams will head to the Monticello Holiday Hoopla Tournament starting this morning through Saturday. The 2 teams will mirror each other's schedules with a game today and 2 games tomorrow. The girls begin play with a 3:30 matchup opposite Neoga. Then tomorrow they play 2 games, starting with an 11:30 matchup against Paxton Buckley Loda and a 6 p.m. game opposite GCMS. Placement games on Saturday are determined by each team's record after pool play. The girls' first placement game is at 10 a.m. with the 7th, 8th place game, and the 3rd, 4th place game is at 2 p.m. While the girls' championship game is at 6 p.m. Saturday night, it will be played before the boys' 7:30 p.m. game for the championship. For the boys, they play at 2 p.m. this afternoon opposite Neoga. Then they return to action tomorrow for a 10 a.m. game against PBL and a 7:30 game against GCMS. The boys' placement game begins at 10 a.m. Saturday with the 7th-8th place game and the championship at 7:30 Saturday night following the girls' championship game. Hear the boys' action on Saturday on WHOW and all its digital platforms. As Monticello heads to its annual holiday Hoopla play this weekend, the Sages feel as though they have hit their stride. The Sages will begin pool play just 2-5 on the season, but have spent the first month of the basketball season trying to bring its players that played in last month's high school football state championship game into the mix. Coach Kevin Roy, after his team lost to only 55-47 from Greenville on Saturday, feels his team has turned the corner.
I feel like we turned a corner with today's performance, so I'm looking forward to going into the Hoopla where, okay, we can't say, okay, we're behind other teams now because of football. It's okay, now it's go time. We are there, we've arrived, now let's keep getting better, play our game, and take one at a time.
The only offered Monticello a good challenge with very good size in the paint and guards that were tall and long.
I was impressed with both ends of the floor. I like how we defended. We still had a couple of possessions where we got little breakdowns, but we're learning from those and we're getting better. And I like how we executed on offense, our ball movement, our patience. You know, that fourth quarter, we just got that stretch where we had too many empty possessions in a row. Yeah. Where we just wasn't getting a good look, wasn't getting a basket, wasn't getting a shot, but our defense just kept us in it. They were able to stretch it out just a little bit enough to get that cushion, and then we were playing scramble from behind. Their guards are strong, you know, they're physical, and for us to be able to play that style of game with them and hang right there, I was real impressed with our guys. I told them in the locker room that, you know, up to this point, we've been, you know, we're a little behind other teams, and I feel like we're right there right now. Now we turn that corner because we're going into the Hoopla, so we got to bring that mindset coming into the Hoopla and get ready for the next one.
Monticello begins Hoopla play this morning with an 11:30 matchup opposite Ridgeview. They return to action tonight with a 7:30 game with 50 and Oakwood. The Sages return to action Friday with a 3:30 game opposite Tuscola. Here this week's action, including the girls' placement game on Saturday on 95.9 FM, WEZC, and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks need a win to help keep their flickering playoff hopes from getting extinguished. Meanwhile, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears need a victory to end a long losing streak. The Seahawks will try to regroup and stay in the playoff chase when they visit the struggling Bears for Thursday night football tonight. The 8-7 Seahawks are coming off back-to-back losses and trail the NFC West leading Rams by one game with 2 to play. The Seahawks were in control of their postseason fate before Minnesota beat them 27-24 last week. The 4-11 Bears just need a win. It's been nothing but losses for them since they beat Jacksonville in London in Week 6. First, Chicago fired offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. Then its head coach during a season for the first time when the Bears let Matt Eberflus go the day after a Thanksgiving loss to Detroit. They are 0-3 with interim coach Thomas Brown. If the Bears drop this game, they will have their second double-digit losing skid in 3 seasons under GM Ryan Poles. They lost the final 10 games 2 years ago as a part of a franchise-worst 14-game slide. They lost the final 10, they've never lost more than 10 in a row in a single season. Williams has a chance to set the Bears' single-season passing record. Assuming he plays the final 2 games, the top overall pick is 6th on the Bears list with 3,271 yards. Eric Kramer holds the franchise record of 3,838 yards in 1995. As more immediate concern is Williams finishes the season on a strong note. To that end, he shrugged off several shaky outings, throwing for 334 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. His 326 consecutive attempts without an interception are an NFL rookie record and the most ever by a Bears player. However, he's also been sacked, a league-leading and club record, 60 times. Game time tonight is 7:15. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
When you visit Lincoln Memorial Hospital,